G'day guys, this is Tyr and welcome back to another Fallout 76 guide. In this one I'm going to be showing both the basics and some advanced tips for XP farming within this game. From items and consumables, statistics to farming routes, this guide will show it all. Okay, so let's get straight into it. So firstly, let's talk about the intelligence statistic. You will need it to be as high as you can possibly push it if you want to get the most bang for your buck in terms of XP percentage gain. Because in this game, 1 point of intelligence equals 2% more experience gain. So 15 intelligence points would amount to 30% extra experience gain, so on and so forth, all the way up to 60 points of intelligence, which would amount to 120% extra experience gain. So clearly having a higher intelligence stat should be your first objective if your sole purpose is to farm experience. Now, there are many ways to increase your intelligence, and I will list off every single intelligence buff you can possibly utilize in this game if you want to completely min-max your intelligence and push it to the absolute limit. Feel free to skip ahead if you already know this info. So, you will firstly need to have 15 base intelligence, followed by a full set of unyielding armor, which will take our total so far to 30. Keep in mind you can push that even further if your unyielding set of armor also has the +1 intelligence as the second star legendary effect, bringing us to 35 intelligence so far. But having that +1 intelligence is kind of rare to acquire, so I don't blame you if you don't have it. Most of you out there will miss out on 5 intelligence in this guide if you don't have that full unyielding +1 intelligence armor. Next, we can then add 5 more points of intelligence through the use of the legendary intelligence perk. Maxing that out will obviously give us 5 points, bringing us up to 40. We can then push that further with the use of some shielded casual under armor, which gives us 3 more intelligence points, bringing us to 43. Then we could take the egghead mutation, granting us 6 more intelligence points, but we can bump that up to 8 with strange numbers if you are on a team, bringing us up to 51. Then let's also not forget about herd mentality with strange numbers, giving us 3 more intelligence points, totaling up so far to 54. Also, I recommend either not having the marsupial mutation while you're farming experience, or at least suppressing the negative intelligence debuff with a serum, as that does remove 4 points of intelligence. Moving on from there, we can place ourselves in a casual public team. Assuming you are bonded with your full team of 4, you will gain +4 more intelligence points, bringing us up to 58. And this is the end of our constant static intelligence bonuses that we can gain. These should not change, and your intel should remain at 58 as long as you are in a team and have all of these things set. But we can push it much further with the use of chems, foods and consumables, and a few perks that only last for a limited amount of time, so you will have to keep re-popping them and re-applying them. First up, you can use berry mentats to increase your intelligence by 5 for 5 minutes, bringing us up to 63. Then we have food. If you're a carnivore, you will need broiled scorch beast brain, and if you're a herbivore, you will want to use brain bombs. Both will get doubled by their respective diet mutation, assuming you have herbivore or carnivore, for the respective foods obviously, and they will both increase your intelligence by 6 for 45 minutes, bringing us up to a total of 69 intelligence so far. Then finally we have the night person perk. This is only active at night time between the hours of 6 PM to 6 AM, and during that time you'll gain a +3 to intelligence for a grand total of 72 intelligence, totaling at an extra 144% experience point gain for your character. Now, I am aware that you can push your intelligence a little bit further, I have seen it done, but doing those certain things to achieve that, like taking the intelligence bobblehead, or certain magazines or consumables for example, would be less effective in the long run and cause conflict with the rest of this guide. For example, having 2 extra intelligence from the intelligence bobblehead would amount to 4% more experience gain, which would overwrite the leader bobblehead's 5% XP gain. Just little things like that, we have to pick and choose what is most effective, and obviously when you can only have 1 of a certain item active at a time, like that example I just gave, it's best to choose other things. Anyways, now that the intelligence buffing items and intelligence stat in general has been extensively explained, let's move on to the actual percentage based XP increasing items and abilities. It is highly recommended that you use these in combination with the other items listed beforehand in the intelligence section, as everything I am going to mention will stack with each other and not cause any conflict whatsoever. Everything stacks, there's nothing to worry about. Now, I will list off the ideal set of XP percentage based items you will need to use in combination with your high intelligence to get the most bang for your buck. Firstly, you will need your bobblehead. You can only have one active at a time, and it's best to go with the leader bobblehead, which grants 5% extra XP gain for 2 hours. Adding onto our 144% XP gain from our intelligence stat, this will take us up to 149% more XP gain. Then you will need to use 4 lunchboxes or have a friend use them next to you, both work the same way. Using all 4 will grant you a 100% XP gaining ability that you can see in the effect tab. It will last for 1 hour, pushing us very far. So far giving us a total of 249% XP gain statistic. Now on top of that, we can take one of the percent based XP gaining food items, and yes, this does stack with the intelligence increasing food item of your choice. For herbivores, you will want to eat cranberry relish for an extra 20% XP gain for 1 hour, and for carnivores you will want to eat tasty squirrel stew, which will grant the same bonus of 20% XP gain if you are a carnivore. These are the best XP percentage gaining foods in the game. There are others that grant things like 10, 5 or 15, but those don't stack with this, so it's best to take the maximum one, giving 20%. Now obviously you can't have both the herbivore and carnivore active at the same time, so you just have to pick and choose. Either or will give the same bonus, bringing us up to a total of 269% bonus XP gain. Next up, we have the inspirational perk. While on a team and maxed out, this will give you 15% more XP gain, so far giving us 284% more experience gain than normal. Next up, you're going to want to sleep in your bed at your camp to get the rested bonus. Now this may be titled either Lover's Embrace or Kindred Spirit depending on what ally you have at your camp, but it's all the same bonus, just with a different name, granting 5% more XP gain for 1 hour, giving us so far 289% more XP than normal. Then as a little bonus, we do have the Wise Mothman effect, which you can gain by interacting with the Wise Mothman during the Path to Enlightenment event that pops up every so often. This lasts for an hour and grants us another 5% XP gain effect, totaling 294% more experience. Then on top of that, finally, we have the magazine that we can use. Now, obviously we'll want to take Live and Love 8, which will grant us 5% more XP while you are in a team, totaling 299% more XP. However, there is a better option that is slightly more time consuming and rare. This is something that will grant you more than that 5% XP boost from Live and Love 8. For herbivores, you will want to take Live and Love 3. This will increase the effectiveness of your cranberry relish and brain bombs by 50%, turning that 20% XP gain into a 37% XP gain from cranberry relish, and also turning your brain bombs from a +6 intelligence to a +11 intelligence, which is just amazing, and is clearly much more effective than the Live and Love 8 magazine. Now the same exact thing can be done for carnivores if they take the Backwoodsman 6 magazine. It will give the exact same boost for your broiled Scorched Beast brain and tasty squirrel stew. So the carnivores and herbivores are equal in terms of XP gain, both equaling 326%. So with that being said, so far that had brought us up to the true highest grand total possible in this game for percentage based XP point gain, totaling at 326% more XP gain, which is almost a 3.5 times multiplier for more experience point gain than you would normally get, which is absolutely insane. So if you pair this with a double XP weekend or even triple XP weekend, you'll be laughing and you will be leveling up so goddamn fast it's not even funny. Now you can do this anytime you want, you just have to be willing to alter your build slightly for the XP gain, and will need to farm, gather and activate a lot of items and effects to make full use of every XP buff in this game. So for argument's sake, let's say that you've done everything I just listed in this guide. You took every intelligence boost and every XP percentage based boost, bringing you up to that grand total of gaining 326% more XP than normal. What do you do now, I hear you ask? Well, now you begin running the XP route that I will list off soon. Simply just clearing out all of these locations and killing all enemies and moving on to the next location. I will also be including a list of events that you absolutely should join if they do pop up while you are running this XP route. And like I said, this is way more beneficial with double XP weekends, as the 326% that you gain from all this stuff is effectively doubled. So definitely come back to this guide when a double XP weekend or what have you pops up. You'll make a lot of use out of this and you will be leveling up so goddamn quick. Now we will be going on to the XP routes. So keep in mind that super mutants are the most common enemies in the game that give the most experience. So we will be prioritizing locations that 100% guarantee them to spawn. And then we will be visiting locations that only have a chance for them to spawn, as well as other locations that can spawn large hordes of ghouls or larger enemies that give off much larger amounts of XP, like behemoths, sentry bots, and scorch beasts. So let's get into it. In this exact order, you should start at Westec and clear both the outside and the inside of all super mutants. Then you should fast travel to Huntersville, clearing out the entire location. From there, you will want to travel to the National Isolated Radio Array, again clearing the whole location. From there, we will want to travel to the Grafton Steel Mill. This place almost has equal the same amount of muties at Westec, so don't pass it up, it's definitely worth visiting. Then head to Sunnytop Ski Lane's location and clear it out as well. All of these locations that I just mentioned should be guaranteed spawns of super mutants, all giving around 2,000 to 3,000 to even 4,000 experience per kill with this setup. From here we will want to then head to Harper's Ferry, clear out the entire location from the train tracks up to the church. Once that is done, you'll want to head into the burrows through the manhole. Down here there will be hordes of ghouls that will be plentiful in numbers and therefore XP as well. From here, once the burrows is cleared out, we will fast travel to the White Springs train station. We will first take out all the sentry bots we see. There should be one at the main entrance, 2 at the front door courtyard area, and at least 4 or 5 around the perimeter of the golf course. And while our target here is the sentry bots, it is also worth taking out the Mr. Gutsies, Assaultrons, and ghouls that you can find. Specifically, the ghouls in the golf club are a good spot to run as well, and should not be passed up. Our next location will be Newgad, right here in the middle of the dried up lake. The structure in the middle should be home to a lot of level 50 super mutants, so it is definitely advisable to visit there. Now once it is cleared, head to the Charleston Capitol building, specifically inside the DMV section, and clear the entire inside of that building. There should be a huge horde of ghouls in there, ready to give you their XP. From here we will want to head to a location called The Vantage. Here is a pack of Blood Eagles that give a surprisingly large amount of XP per kill with this setup, but they are not the main target. We will want to target the super mutant behemoth that is guaranteed to spawn in the lake a little bit north of this location. Once the behemoth is dealt with, I recommend heading to the Cranberry Bog, where a location called the General Steakhouse is located. It is always filled with super mutants, so go nuts there. Once this place is cleared, you will head to Quarry X3, where we will take out a Myalert Queen and her minions. These bastards give off maximum experience, so they are very useful to farm up when we can. Once the queen is dealt with, we will then be hunting another one over at a Sunrise Field. Again, plenty of minions to go alongside the Myalert Queen, and plenty of experience. From here, we will be reaching the end of our route at the Fisher Site Prime. Our goal here is to kill as many Scorch Beasts as possible. At least 2 or 3 should spawn from the Fissure Sites, maybe more, alongside a lot of human Scorched minions that will follow the Scorched Beasts, gifting you a massive XP farm. So while this is the end of my recommended route, you are still free to go and farm any other locations you can think of that are actually worth it. For example, visiting all of the fissure sites around the map is actually pretty good for experience, so it's worth doing that, as well as visiting the Glassed Caverns. There's a lot of Scorched in there that is worth farming, as well as any other locations that I might have forgotten that do have hordes of ghouls or guaranteed spawns of super mutants. Go nuts, this is only my recommended route that seems to have worked really well for me. Now, while you are running this route, it's entirely possible that some world events may pop up. Most of them are not worth visiting in the slightest. However, if you do see the events called Line in the Sand, Guided Meditation, or Radiation Rumble, I recommend that you drop what you're doing immediately and go farm those events with your XP boosts active. And world events aren't the only things that might pop up. You may see the world boss events like the Imposter Sheepscorch event, the Colossal Problem event, or the Scorchbeast Queen event pop up from players. If you do see them, I highly recommend doing them and dropping what you're doing as well to go and visit them, as these events are incredible for experience gain. Anyways guys, that's going to do it for me. This has been the best and most detailed Fallout 76 XP farm guide on YouTube. If you need help acquiring or farming anything within this guide, I will have wiki links down below, or you can just search them up on YouTube. I'm sure someone out there has guides specifically detailing how to acquire more than all of these items. Both the wiki and the YouTube videos can detail exactly where to find these items and get these effects if you are struggling on how to find them. Now, if you've got a friend that wants to level up fast, I highly recommend you send them this video and feel free to share it alongside any social media platforms. It would be a great help to get this information out there. Now, a massive shout out to all of my current channel members and Patreons. Thank you all so much for your continued support on the channel, truly means the world. A friendly reminder to follow my social medias in the description down below, and be sure to subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed. I've been Tyr, and I'll catch us in the next one. Welcome to Valhalla.